Morning guys. Second and final day here in Lonavala. Gonna go to the Karla Caves this morning and hang around there for a few hours, and then start figuring out our way back to Mumbai, where I will unfortunately have to spend the next 24 hours dreading in one fashion or another. But obviously I'm going back to Australia. Anyway, beautiful place, really appreciated it.
Should we take a bag? He's saying, why don't you take your bag? Do you want to come here and rest, or do you want to directly go to the station and catch the bus?
What's the easiest way to get back to Mumbai?
He's more than happy not to come here because then he'll charge extra for coming here. And
Yeah. I'm happy with that. Maybe we should.
है ना, आपकी तो है हमारे साथ, तो हम रख सकते हैं अगर। Before I leave Lonavala. My gosh, I need some water. Sorry guys, before I leave Lonavala, I thought I'd just give some sort of thoughts on, my sort of journey so far. It was almost an unexpected journey, to be honest, at least like this first leg of it. I didn't come to India with the initial intention of sort of stumbling across like these familiarities between these rock cut caves and like sort of temple complexes that are sort of part of the same or part of the whole. So for example, most of the caves you'll see the Chaitya halls and the viharas, the sort of sleeping quarters or commons. So that's like a common sort of thread that you can draw upon and be like, okay, well they all have this. And then as you sort of analyze them all, you start to see more and more similarities. And I've seen enough to sort of come to some determination that these sites were initially destined for much bigger things. They weren't destined to be simply just a place of worship and a place of rest. Whilst I don't dismiss that the Buddha certainly inhabited them for a time, and in some places, like the Aurangabad caves and the Basalt caves, in fact, Buddhist monks actually go up there still to this day to meditate. But what I'm merely drawing upon is this correlation of an even older style of structure that sort of boggles the mind when you look at it from a macro scale perspective, and how it may have interacted with water, how it may have interacted on a much larger scale, maybe even to the degree of like energy production, because what both I and my local guide have definitely seen is this strange series of structures of stupa, which really boggled my mind, especially in the nature of sort of piezoelectric minerals and certain rock types that they're sort of stuck between. But anyway, it's some thoughts that I'm going to have to sort of delve a bit further into, you know, in the future. But for now, it just seems like that is the case. That these were destined for a much, much larger purpose, and on a mass scale, mind you. Like I'm talking, yeah, you know, people talk about the pyramids and how it had like 1 million people, like sort of operating in the construction process to build this. This is this, except it's always at the tops of mountains or the tops of these hills, or at least to the degree where they're like sort of halfway up, and you know, just the correlation with the water as well. All of them have underground aquifers, so that in and of itself is a line that can be drawn. So now you've got common sleeping areas and viharas and chaityas, as well as underground aquifers. And I think that these may have been sites to provide water to the masses. But maybe having an even greater intention of what these were to become. And maybe these places were built more than, you know, sort of 10,900 years ago. I really don't know. But whatever the case may be, is I've got some samples. I've left some samples here in India just in case I'm unable to take some samples back into Australia. We'll see what happens on that front, so I can do some dating on some of the stuff, make it a bit more sort of legitimate, like sort of post-video production. If I manage to get someone to do these datings, like carbon dating analysis on some of the things I've collected, then fantastic. If someone's viewing this and happens to know someone in either Melbourne, or maybe in like some part of India, like I'm thinking either Maharashtra or Gujarat, then please get in touch with me on Twitter, or X, YouTube or Instagram, and maybe we can work something out. So anyway, we're on the way up to the Karla Caves. I'm sure you guys have heard me ramble enough about this now. So get ready for the boring stuff. Can you ask our friend if the Karla Caves also have a series of steps that we are going to have to ascend in order to get to said caves? That's a yes. 400. 400 steps apparently. I got about 12 hours sleep last night, so we'll see how I feel. I can do it, but I don't know how quickly I can do it. I thought we might have been a bit closer, so anyway. Yeah. Alright guys, we're at the caves. We've got to walk through basically like a market to get into them, but you guys see for yourself, so here we go.
Did you say there's a lid below on the body?
On the top.
Okay.
The lid. It's on tight, but it's not on that tight. Happy birthday, buddy. So I got a bit of everything, bit of a mixed bag. We've got shoes, we've got food, we've got coffee, we've got small goods. We've got it all here at the market. But that's right, we might get something on the way back, I don't know. Probably not. So I wonder if this is part of the 400 steps that he said, or this is like the prerequisite to the 400 steps. Luckily there's shade. Namaskar, bro. How are you, mate? You good?
What's your name?
Fozzie. Fozzie, like Fozzie.
Both are same.
Well, maybe in some context.
YouTuber.
Yeah, it's sort of early humble beginnings.
Okay.
Sizable on Twitter.
Where are you from?
Australia.
Oh.
What about you? You from Lonavala?
Yeah, I'm a local.
You're local.
Ex-MLA.
Ex-MLA. Ex-MLA. And what is the ex-MLA?
Politician.
Oh, dead set.
Just hold on.
Yeah, thanks,
Come
bro.
with me.
Yeah, man.
I will.
Oh no. What have we done?
Yes.
He's like, come with me.
I don't know.
Oh no. I don't know, we might be in trouble here.
No.
Probably not. I think we're all good.
Both are
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
मध्येच.
तुम्ही कुठले?
सॉरी
तुम्ही कुठले? बेरोर ब्रो?
मैं तो पुणे लखनऊ बहुत
पुण्यात कुठं? मराठी येते की नाही?
What's your tongue? You got my thumb caught.
सॉरी
All good.
मराठी येते की नाही? No.
भेटे
ना?
ओटी या नारळाची ओटी आहे 6 वारी 9 वारी साडी ओटी वगैरे 50 रुपयाला ओटी नारळाची मोठ्या अरे फ्रेश आहे
सर वी डोंट वांट एनी
चला घ्या ओटी घ्या नारळाची ओटी आहे
Why is he telling us to wait here?
ओटी घ्या या बॅग चप्पल हेल्मेट वगैरे काय ठेवायचं आतमध्ये ठेवा
Oh, really?
Anyway.
I'm still trying to understand Hindi, so I'm getting some things wrong. Amazing.
You go there. Not allowed to pictures in anyone.
Huh.
But I will tell you. You can take a pictures and some videos to your blogs.
Fantastic. Of course. I went to Grineshwar Jyotirling the other night,
Whoa.
and bro, I wasn't
It is
expecting
made by one night.
the whole site.
Yeah, and
Or just the Chaitya. Or the Chaitya. So the Chaitya was built in one night.
one night.
ये पूरा जो दिख रहा है या बस
No. This one
ये
mandir.
जो छोटा मंदिर है
Mandir.
only the
This
temple
is a temple.
Okay,
This is
the temple in front of the Chaitya.
Yeah.
Okay, is there a Shivalingam?
Not a shivling.
Okay.
This is the Mata's god.
the goddess who came into the dream is that goddess
Oh, they gave them the vision of how to build this. Whoa.
not the caves is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
talking about the temple not
Yeah.
And the caves are doing another times. Then he lives here. Pach Pandav. That's called Marathi Pach Pandav.
Huh.
Then he lives here. Then he do that. The another one is caves. But this god is go to the dreams and told us to do the one night to do my temples and we'll live here.
Yeah. And then while they lived here,
Yeah.
they sculpted the.
Yes.
Wow.
Just come.
he's saying what it
I think I'm following. No, he's saying the front part was built in one night, and that was a,
just the temple just this temple.
Yeah,
that
I understand
we are
that.
going,
The temple,
right
not
now,
the
tiny one.
Yeah, not
That
the.
was built in some other time where Pandavas lived. Pandavas only made the temple.
Just come with us
Oh,
because there is a line to go inside.
okay. I don't mind waiting in the line.
Take some long. Hey, Kira.
I don't want to get special access.
Mausi. Mausi, I know. Just get.
Okay. Right, so there's a temple, there's a mandir that's in front of the complex, and according to our new friend, the temple, the mandir, the Hindu mandir, was built within 24 hours of the Panch Pandavas, who were sort of seen as the, one sec, brother, they were seen as the deities. They sort of built these sites, but they themselves had a sort of, I guess, a vision from this goddess, and the goddess showed them how to build these places.
Take a socks.
Okay,
He is a
give me just a sec, guy.
Arun Kaka.
Arungakar.
Arun,
Namaskar. Hold on, brother.
He has come to Australia. He Australia वरून आलेला. He is a caretaker of our temples.
One shot.
You can go.
Thank you, brother.
There is a no thank you. There is a namaskar. Namaskar.
Namaskar.
And then you can do that also if you want.
Okay. All right. So we've been given some access to the site. We're gonna check out the caves. Namaskar. And sort of come to, I guess, a greater determination. But it's interesting that they sort of described from, the perspective that these individuals had sort of like premonitions or visions in order to create these sites. So, yeah, maybe there's a correlation. There definitely is with the Lonavala Caves in Nasik. And I suspect that the same correlations are going to be found here, at least to the degree when it comes to like the sort of architectural plans, the method of construction, which is absolutely fascinating. So anyway. All right, so we've been blessed to have some immediate access to the site by a gentleman who I'm not going to name just yet, but I'll sort of talk at the end about what the experience is I've had just coming here before even getting into the caves. But namaskar. But yeah, been invited to come and see some more sort of older ancient places around Maharashtra when I return to Bharat. So now I'm just going to sort of give myself a bit of a nod. If you're happy with what I've been sort of producing, give me a like, give me a follow, give me a share. If you want to donate and help the cause, you're more than welcome to. So anyway, for now, we're going to check this place out. So first things first, it's an enormous site, arguably the same as all the other sites as well. I mean, some are a bit bigger than others, but in terms of the sort of magnitude on the sort of faces of hills and mountains, it's quite interesting. So I don't really know what to make of it so far. Apparently we've got complete access to search the place. You'll see a massive pillar with the lions of Ashoka. There used to be two of them, but now there's only one. I don't know which way we're going to walk in. I'm sort of going to wait for my local guide. There's some rough patches on the ground that I want to try and avoid. Oh, I can put my shoes back on. Give me a sec, guys. All right. So we're here in the caves. I've had some time to do some analysing, a few thoughts to give. But yeah, I've been shown something apparently, and What it is a stupa that's definitely been destroyed. Looks like a lease from the sort of upper part of the base of the same, art style. You can see the groove cutting marks that run through. There's a well there to extract water, so there's obviously an underground aquifer here as well. Now, I didn't obviously go into the details of what had happened earlier, but a beautiful gentleman named Satish, he has a YouTube, Twitter, and an Instagram as well. It will be in the video. I'll also, be retweeting some stuff that he posts on Instagram that you've probably already seen by now if you're following it. And yeah, so he was telling me that the Panchavs, the people that came to this place, were given a vision by the goddess that exists at this site. So outside there is a Hindu mandir, and a goddess came to the Panchavs and showed them where this area was, and they came to this area, and according to them, it's already a pre-existing site. They weren't the ones to build it, but they were gifted a vision to come here. And according to them, that the site was in dire need of like some sort of repair. So they gave it some sort of what might be seen as a rudimentary construction. It's actually quite sophisticated. So I've had developing thoughts. So as you can see, there's different rock faces now. On some of the earlier videos you've probably seen by now, there's this sort of material that I've come to the conclusion is a geopolymer. And as you can see now, I'm getting a mix of not just like Nasik caves, but also Mahakali caves, Jogeshwari caves, and Mabaleshwara caves. So you've got like this geopolymer concrete here, and then up here, of course, is exposed steel rebar. So these Panchavs had a good understanding of composite materials, as well as how to sort of like structurally, interact with the already pre-existing framework, and maybe even to the degree have a good understanding of the geomagnetic lines of north and south. As you've seen on sort of the previous video, there is, or maybe even in this video, I don't know, I haven't done any video editing yet by this recording, but you would have seen by now that on a certain section of the video that I show a carving in the floor that looks like a big cross. And I got my phone out and put my iPhone down and showed that it is, sort of magnetically aligned to north and south, respectively. So that's quite interesting just in and of itself. And I've also seen it here where there's some of the original structure, and you get more of a sense of a secondary method of construction that's come in afterwards. Sorry, my lips are a little bit dry at the moment. Haven't been drinking so much water over the last couple of days, but anyway. So some of the caves are interesting. I can't go into them, which is kind of unfortunate. Obviously there's the correlation of water. So it's nothing you guys haven't seen before. I think there's two sections of construction here. It's kind of hard to tell without getting in, which is a bit unfortunate, to be honest. But anyway, I'm sure if I ask Satish, I might be able to get access. But there you can see maybe a secondary layer of construction on top of an original layer that may have been there. Hard to see without any sort of sample analysis, but a man can dream about ancient times in the way he so chooses, as long as it still holds some form of narrative. All the same construction method. Two layers, obviously, am I? Oh. So, we got given permission by Satish to enter the site, and upon leaving the sort of first room, we got not booted out, but he told us we weren't allowed to record. So we're going to the office to seek permission at the behest of Satish, and see how that sort of pans out. But anyway, apparently we're not allowed to record even though people are in there with their phones. So anyway, I'll talk to you soon. So we got told off, and I was unable to use my GoPro for some further footage, but it doesn't matter because I got most of the footage that I wanted anyway. But this section of the of the caves is only available for photos with your mobile phone. Apparently, cameras are not allowed, and if you'd like to use a camera, you have to pay 50,000 rupees, and you have to go to the Archaeological Survey of India head office in Mumbai, where you will then give them that 50,000 rupees, and they will give you a little permission slip to allow you to record footage in the places across some of the caves around, I guess, anything that's under the Archaeological Survey of India's jurisdiction. And see some places that have been cut off or inaccessible, as you have seen on some of my footage now, if you are still watching. But yeah, so we got most of the footage we wanted in here already, which is a positive, but now we're going to go into the other caves and see what they are. I'm not going to go into the dialectics of how we got permission, but, you know, we still got the approval to sort of go back in and take more photos and this and that, so that was fine. But anyway, we'll go check out the other caves. I don't know how we're going to get in, but yeah, anyway, talk to you guys soon. All right. Whoa. This place is enormous. This is a massive Chatra hall. Lots of really old construction initially. I don't know what you guys can see. I'm sort of a bit hesitant to show my GoPro because we got permission, but like the security guard's been a bit weird.
I got my eyes on you.
He's not going to be able to let us sort of, you know, use it here as well. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. So coming into this Chaitya hall, we're seen as in Buddhism as the prayer hall. There's a couple of things that spring to mind that's really sort of interesting. One, you've got this same design that you see at all the other caves across Maharashtra, where you've got this intricate inlaid sort of, I don't know, what would you call this? What would you call this kind of design? I don't know what it is in Buddhism, but to me it has this scaffolding-like appearance that my mind wants to draw upon, like maybe like large pipes, or, you know, maybe something to do with the application of three, like this sort of 3 times pressure applying upon rock, maybe, I don't know. This is definitely the original structure. So the materials or the minerals interlaid within the rock, which I suspect is basalt, but it might be granite, I don't know. There is some hallmarkings of a secondary layer of construction. Perhaps here we've got the composite material that looks like concrete, which runs down and along here. You can see the line, maybe this stuff was covered, and it covered all of this as a way to preserve the site, much like the other sites, I suspect. We've got the elephants. Within the elephants, they've got their tusks drilled in, which is really interesting. There's some sort of concave marking that goes further in. It's full of spider web, so it's kind of hard to tell from this distance. Same with that one, but I'll get the camera out soon. The faces are very intricate. there's almost like a shaving back of the rock. Like once you've sort of made it smooth enough and make it more refined, there's minerals in the elephant's sort of upper tusk. There's all these sort of markings here. I'm kind of unclear whether these are an addition afterwards to cover up the mineral. There might be minerals that run all the way through these and they've been covered up at a later date. I truly don't know. But even this, like you can see that underneath all of this, there's exposed mineral deposits that might be covering up like the bulk of a site. For what purpose? I'm not too sure. But anyway, we'll turn around now, see if the security guard gives a shit. He might not. Drill holes in the top of the male figure's hair on his right side of his head. As you can see from the pillars, this pillar would have come afterwards, but on top of the pillar, there's obviously, underneath the concrete section of the pillar, there's an even older layer of rock. So the Pandavas, the members that came here and created this, obviously had a good sort of well-rounded understanding of construction methods, that they had come and found this place after having their visions and their experiences, and then implementing their own methodology of like geopolymer construction with concrete and steel rebar. Maybe, which is really interesting. Yeah. There's a rock cut water channel that runs all the way along the site. I'm not sure where it leads to, but okay, so it leads up into one section. It isn't accessible at the moment, which is kind of unfortunate. Early constructions of the elephant, it looks like. So this would have been the single piece of rock that went all the way to the roof, and then as everything's being chiseled away, there's bits that are being left over, and they're sort of sculpting around, like let's say a pillar at a time, maybe multiple pillars that all sort of connect. It's sort of hard to gauge, at least on first impression, but what is obvious is that the tusks have massive holes in them, obviously to support tusks. What the tusks, would have been made from, I don't know. I don't know if it would have been ivory. Maybe it was another material, maybe it was granite. I'm unsure, but what I'm sure about is it definitely has, whoa. Okay, so there's punched holes in that side of that face that's been sort of cut off. Maybe the Pandavas did that, and maybe they had an intention of building a face upon it. Maybe not. I'm not too sure. This is an incredible sight. Right at the top, there's a beehive. The same thing you see at all the other Buddhist sites. You see this representation of an aura, of a power that emanates outwards. Wow.
I'm coming.
My local guy just dropped my phone. It better
Can you? 1 second.
Wait, good.
Can you just go?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, so you're swimming in the water.
I didn't know. I didn't realize you were taking the other one. She dropped my phone, but we're good. Nothing bad. We survived.
Sorry.
We survived the cataclysm, guys. We made it. Noah's Ark, eat your heart out. Okay. So this is in one of the scripts. I'm unsure of which one. Alright, so I just came into the hall. I wish I could have given you guys my first-hand sort of facial reaction, but I was a little bit distracted talking to an older uncle. Had a great conversation. But anyway, So we've walked in here and my jaw dropped. I'll try to do my best sort of re-impersonation of my facial expression of what I've just seen. It crosses the bounds in my mind of what could be something of a pre-existing age, perhaps. But anyway, take a look for yourself. I'm having difficulty sort of determining what is original, what's come afterwards. I suspect this is original by the mineral deposits here. The floor is, this section here might be the secondary construction that's layered on top of this section here, which is either basalt or granite. But anyway, they kind of look the same when they're shiny from the outside, in my personal opinion. At least, you know, some of it. But yeah, I'll take you guys over to the stupa shortly. Again, just wanted to check these pillars out. Whatever's on top is incredible. I don't know what it is. It looks like it holds something else inside of it.
See, there's an old painting. Inko dikha do jara. Old painting. Painting. Buddhist
There's a painting.
In mobile light.
I brought this with me.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, man.
Chalo.
That's all right. So I'm going to get shown something apparently.
Touch on. Painting. Buddhist painting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, painting.
Wow. And this is like the original.
Yeah. And the back side, hearts.
On the...
Elephant.
Wow. You guys can see the Buddha that's like sort of written on there. It's actually kind of reminiscent of the Buddhist iconography coming out of Gandhara, the Taxila region in northern Pakistan today. I'll get my local guide to take a photo wherever she is. But this might be a correlation between the Buddhist stupas in the Gandhara region, or the Taxila region in Gandhara, in northern Pakistan today, where there's a bunch of old stupas that sort of out of the ground. The architecture is incredible. I can't keep holding up my arm. I don't know where my...
This look meditation on.
Chaitya. I don't know where my thing is, and I'm just holding this now so everyone can get a good look, but my arm is certainly getting weak. No worries, bro. So if you're going to be cave diving all the caves in Maharashtra, you need a torch. You need something that lights up the dark chambers, because the Android phones just don't cut it. Just call. I look at the top. The top secondary construction. But the pillar the secondary construction sits upon might be original.
it might be wood. So around the entire hall, around the entire Chatra hall, you've got these wooden beams. These were supposedly put in, or the Pandavas had installed these. So the wood's lasted a long time. It looks like some sort of, it's definitely a hardwood. I can't tell you what kind of wood. It might be teak, but I don't think so. But if it is, well, then, you know, teak's great. Anyway, this thing is massive. This is, I don't know how long this is across. I'm gonna have to get the tool out on the iPhone to check. I'll show my local guide how to do it in just one moment. So, what you do. Sorry guys, I had to cut the footage, I just spazzed out. Anyway, so the stupa hall has got these drill holes, these pounding holes, whatever these might be, in the front of the stupa. It's got the same cuboid sort of etchings within, the sort of layered approach where you've got these like three sort of like layered, maybe like pipe that sort of runs around. I don't know how to sort of describe it. I'm sure I've described it well on previous videos, but I'm a little bit spaced out. This place has been a mind sore. The floor's definitely been renovated, but old renovation. You'll see the engravings on the pillars. Exposed mineral deposit. And these have got minerals all layered on them. Hold on, brother. The guy wants me to follow him again. I might have changed the batteries, so give me a sec. Huh. Right at the top. The sun. What's that? The chakra.
Where?
Right at the top. You gotta stand back there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Samrat.
Oh, here we go. Would you look at that? It's a long hole. Goes all the way in somewhere. Here's the same groove cups that sort of formulate something that you would hook objects onto, or hook thread onto, or hook rope onto. There's an exposed vein up above. I'm really disappointed we can't go in to see behind the Chaitya. I don't know if I should push my luck with permissions, because I already got in trouble once, but maybe I can sweeten it. Maybe I can sweet talk my way into into getting approval. We'll see.
I doubt.
But
You want me to call him?
she reckons I can't, and I reckon I can't as well. But we'll never know unless we call him. So find out.
Tell him.
Okay.
He'll
Yeah.
say no because he doesn't have the...
All right.
I'm sorry.
No,
I
no.
couldn't.
All right, so I'll do one quick little final, show and tell. I'm going to walk around the site and probably have some music transition on this background, because there's a whole section of the stupa that we can't see, which is unfortunate. I mean, I don't know. We'll still see. Still try. But anyway.
So yeah, let's show you guys the room.
Wow.
So that's like afternoon ritual.
All right, guys. Beautiful end to the day on our second day of Lonavala. It's been a very interesting journey. It's been a very interesting treat to be here. The second day, look, admittedly, not as exciting as the first day. However, there definitely was some electrification in the air, but mainly from the Archaeological Survey of India. I may have made some friends and I may have made some enemies. Whatever the case may be, I'm certainly coming back here to all these caves, in fact, in the future. I don't have a date set when. There are some caves that I've yet to explore. There's some more caves in Pune. There's the Elephanta Caves in Mumbai. But the acquaintance, not even the acquaintance, what a poor choice of words. The friend that I made, Satish, he's somebody that knows some people. And he's informed me that if I ever want to come back to Maharashtra to go to a bunch of these like ancient archaeological sites, he'll make some calls and get me sorted, I guess. Whether that turns out to be true or not is an entirely other thing, but I believe him wholeheartedly. He's a beautiful soul. Kind of shook me a bit to my core, to be honest, when he first sort of appeared out of nowhere, out of like the shadows of the staircases. But yeah, so for now, we're going to make our way back to Mumbai, where I will be off to Australia by tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Indian Central Time. So, some final words, I guess. You know, if you're a budding young explorer and you're interested in checking out India, but you've got a little bit of a little bit of a butterfly floating around in the gut. You're sort of unsure about sort of the direction you have to take in order to get around this place. You'll find it easy. It's not overly challenging if you go in with your whole heart and with a good moral compass. You'll be able to get around this place, pardons, relatively easily, I feel. I might have been blessed in some way, shape or form that allowed me to get around, you know, a bit better than maybe some other people will. But either way, you'll be able to get around and come through it all with a greater sense of joy, with a greater sense of deep love for humanity.
It's a root, like potato and sweet potato.
And what
Legend
people
that
eat
Lord
more.
Rama was exiled to forest along with his wife Sita brother. The royal family used to live under thatch roof and used to feed on this.
Can we try this?
कितने का है अभी?
20 का 3 पीस 50 का 8 पीस